Stop walking like walking alone will solve your strength after 60. I know this phrase sounds provocative, almost like an invitation to click away. But hold my hand for a few minutes and let me explain. The reason your routine needs an adjustment is simple and direct, especially if you want to get up from a chair safely, open jars without asking for help, and walk without the fear of tripping. Yes, walking is healthy, great for your mood, circulation, and mind. But it's not enough to rebuild the muscle tissue that time has slowly taken away. After 60, your muscles become less responsive to weak stimulation. It's as if your body hears those repeated steps and replies with a yawn. It gets the message, but doesn't find it convincing enough to trigger real adaptation. That's why so many people walk every day and still feel their legs shaky when standing from an armchair, get winded after 2 hills, lose balance on the bus step, and need to use their hands to get off the toilet. It's not a lack of effort, it's a lack of the right signal. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to support this video. This simple gesture helps YouTube deliver this content to thousands of people over 60 who need this information today. Let's start from the beginning. No sugarcoating. Just the truth that drives real decisions. Every year after 60, you can lose between 3% and 8% of muscle mass. And it's no exaggeration to say that by age 70, that could mean losing 1/3 of the strength you once had. By age 80, in many cases, half. But muscle mass isn't about vanity. It's about autonomy. When you lose muscle, you lose the levers that keep you steady when standing up, the brakes that protect your knees when going downstairs, and the ankle stability needed to recover from a trip. And this is exactly where walking by itself falls short. It's repetitive, predictable, and too low intensity for someone who's already used to it. It doesn't create the type of mechanical tension that switches on the build mode inside the muscle of someone over 60. To put it simply, walking is a whisper. What you need now is a command, loud and clear, that tells your body, build, reinforce, reactivate. That command comes from 2 specific movements, and just knowing you're going to learn them safely at home already excites me. I see every day what happens when someone stops relying on the cane of chance and starts depending on their own body. Confidence improves, fear of falling decreases, mood lifts, energy returns, and the desire to go out reappears. Before I show you the 2 exercises, one for pushing from the upper body and one for rising from the lower body, I want you to understand the logic, because when you understand the reason, you don't quit halfway. The muscle of someone over 60 does respond. I repeat, it responds to the right kind of overload paired with adequate rest. And what are those rules? First, strong signals. Large movements that engage lots of muscle mass at once and force you to organize posture, align joints, and breathe with control. Second, smooth progression. You don't need to do backflips. Just increase 1 variable per week. Reps, sets, time under tension, or a slight incline. That's enough for your body to register progress. Third, consistency. 2 to 3 focused sessions per week send your body the message that it needs to adapt. Fourth, recovery. Muscle rebuilds between workouts. This is where adequate protein throughout the day, proper hydration, and restorative sleep come in. I'll get back to this later because a lot of people lose strength not from training too little, but from poor sleep and low protein intake. Now, why is walking misleading? Because it gives you a sense of accomplishment without actually moving the needle on strength. It improves your steps, good. Lifts your mood, great. But doesn't fix the engine that lifts you, straightens you, and keeps you steady. If your goal is autonomy, you need to train the 2 verbs that define independence: push and rise. When you master a good push, which we're about to do against the wall, and a good rise, sitting and standing with control, you reactivate 2 crucial neuromuscular circuits your body depends on to live with dignity. Opening doors, carrying groceries, holding yourself steady, getting up from the toilet, rising from a chair, getting out of bed. If you train these 2, everything else improves naturally. Walking gets easier, stairs hurt less, dancing becomes joyful again instead of scary. Let's talk about the fear of falling. No one likes to admit it, but it's what keeps many people stuck at home. That fear, as you've probably noticed, grows when your body no longer trusts its own reflexes. And reflexes don't just come from the ankle. They come from a chain. Feet that feel the ground, calves that hold, thighs that break, glutes that stabilize the hips, spine that keeps the torso aligned, and shoulders that know how to push and steady you against a wall or table. When you train pushing and rising, you're not training an isolated muscle. You're training the system that keeps you standing. Confidence returns because your body starts responding quickly. And when confidence returns, fear naturally steps back. Now let's go. Why is the wall press, the wall push-up, the perfect starting point? Because it scales. Everyone can start at a distance that works for them. And as you gain strength and control, you take a step back and increase the incline. There you go. More resistance. Same movement. And since the wall pushes back, you'll feel your entire upper chain reorganizing. Chest opening, shoulder blades gliding, triceps waking up, and your abs acting like a natural belt. It's common in the first sessions to notice your body trying to cheat by lifting the shoulders or letting the hips sag. That's your cue to reset. Shoulders down and back, elbows about 45 degrees from the body in a straight line from ankles to the top of your head, gaze soft and forward, neck long. And remember this image. Push the floor with your hands. It might sound silly, but this neural cue activates the right muscles without you having to overthink the anatomy. Before we wrap up this first section, I want you to make a deal with me. You don't have to believe me right now. You just need to test it. When this video ends, you're going to stand up and do one wall press, just one, and one sit to stand from a chair with full awareness. You'll notice how your body responds, how your breathing fits the movement, how your hands want to come up to help, and you'll gently keep them in front, extended. It's that simple attention that reignites the bridge between your brain and your muscles. Wall press. Because this is where you relearn how to use your chest, shoulders, triceps, and core like a well-tuned orchestra. It immediately reorganizes your posture, shoulder blades gliding, chest opening, neck lengthening, and sends your body the strong signal it's been missing to truly reactivate strength. Start by positioning yourself one arm's length from the wall, feet parallel and shoulder width apart, toes pointing forward, and knees unlocked. Slight bend of 5 to 10 degrees to keep your joints elastic. Keep your pelvis in a neutral position. Avoid arching or tucking too much. And lengthen your spine as if someone were gently pulling you upward from the top of your head. Place your palms flat against the wall at shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulder width if your shoulders are stiff, and rotate your fingers outward slightly, about 10 to 20 degrees, to better accommodate your wrists and shoulders. Now gently activate your core. Think of drawing your belly button slightly toward your spine at a 2 out of 10 effort, just enough to create your natural belt, and activate your glutes at a 1 out of 10, like flipping a switch to prevent your pelvis from tilting forward. This simple pre-alignment already improves shoulder safety by centralizing the force in your trunk and distributing the load. The movement begins with intention. Push the floor with your hands, even though you're on the wall. Inhale through your nose as you bend your elbows and bring your chest toward the wall with control, keeping your elbows at about 45 degrees from your torso, not tucked in, not flared out in a T-shape. Lower yourself until you're just a few centimeters from the wall, enough to feel a light stretch in the front of your shoulders and chest muscles, and pause for 1 second to eliminate momentum. On the way up, exhale through your mouth as if fogging up a mirror. Steady flow, no breath holding. And imagine your hands pressing into the wall as your shoulder blades glide downward and backward, opening the chest. At the end of the push, your elbows should extend without locking harshly. Your shoulder blades shouldn't collapse forward. Avoid pushing your upper back out. And your neck should stay long. No shrugging, no lifting the chin. This breath-scapula-elbow combination is what protects the shoulder and multiplies your usable strength. The strength that helps you open a heavy door, push yourself up, or stabilize your body when you trip. Let's fine-tune intensity using a method that works in any home: distance and angle. But if wall press brings back the upper push, sit to stand restores the lower engine, quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, and calves, and also reprograms the brain to coordinate feet, knees, hips, and trunk in a movement you repeat dozens of times a day. When you learn to hinge your hips first, touch the chair without collapsing, and rise by pushing the floor through your heels, something unexpected happens. The knees complain less, the hips gain power, the ankles respond faster, and the spine takes fewer hits. Practical result? Get off the toilet with dignity, stand from the armchair without using your hands, get into the car with ease, climb steps with confidence. Let's build this with expert precision and full respect for your pace. Perfect positioning starting point. Choose a firm chair, no wheels, with a flat seat and a height that aligns with the middle of your kneecap. Not too low, not too high. Stand with feet parallel, shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out if your hips are stiff. Feel the foot tripod, heel, base of the big toe, and base of the little toe, grounded on the floor. Gently bring your chest forward to lengthen the sternum. Keep your spine long and relax your neck. Arms extended in front act as a counterbalance and provide stability. The biomechanical secret that protects the knees. Before lowering, push your hips back, as if trying to reach the chair with your butt, and only then bend the knees further. This movement order changes the distribution of forces. Instead of placing everything on the knees, you activate glutes and hips to control the descent and lead the rise. Now go down slowly, feeling the weight in the middle of your foot. When your butt lightly touches the seat, without collapsing, make a short pause and rise by pushing the floor through your heels. At the top, squeeze the glutes for 1 second without leaning back, lengthen the spine, and gently exhale. That's 1 repetition. Quick checklist to stick on your fridge. Feet firmly on the tripod. Hips go back first. Knees follow the line of the feet. Don't let them collapse inward. Light touch on the seat, no plopping down. Push up through the heels, not the toes. Glutes contract at the top. Coordinated breathing. Inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up, adjusting the chair height for you. If it's too difficult, raise the seat with a firm cushion or use a higher chair. The higher it is, the easier. If it's too easy, remove the cushion, use a lower chair, or begin the rise 2 centimeters before touching the seat, the ghost touch. Different heights allow you to progress without pain or fear. Initial volume and smart progression. Start with 2 or 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions, resting 90 seconds. Practice 3 to 4 times per week. For example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Golden rule. Each week, increase only 1 variable. Total reps, number of sets, time under tension, or slightly lower seat height. Never change everything at once. When you reach 3 sets of 12 fluid reps without pain for 2 consecutive sessions, move up a level. Adopt controlled tempo or slightly lower the seat. Common mistakes that sabotage the knees and quick fixes. Collapsing into the seat. Solution: touch and rise. Pause for 1 second, even if the range is smaller. Knee collapses inward. Solution: think of spreading the floor with your soles, as if you were opening a rug with your feet, rising onto the toes. Solution: shift your weight to the heels before going up and feel the calves relax. Chest drops forward. Solution: lift the chest with pride, lengthen the sternum, and keep the neck long. Hands on thighs. Solution: arms extended forward as a counterweight. If really needed, lightly touch fingertips for 1 or 2 weeks, then remove. Safe and progressive clinical adaptations. Knee pain. Reduce range of motion, raise the seat, widen the base slightly, focus on hips going back and heels pushing the floor. Use controlled tempo. 3 seconds down, short pause, 2 seconds up, to teach the body. Hip osteoarthritis. Slow cadence, comfortable range, slightly wider base, feet gently rotated outward. If there is pain, sit down fully and stand up calmly. Knee or hip prosthesis cleared by the doctor. Reduced range in the first weeks, higher seat, coordinated breathing, no rush. Prioritize quality, not numbers. Dizziness when standing. Rise in 2 phases, half rise, short pause, full rise. Breathe deeply and hydrate. If it persists, talk to your doctor. Lower back pain. Lengthen the spine, keep the chest open, activate glutes at the top. If it still bothers you, raise the seat slightly and reinforce the hips-back movement pattern. Progression ladder, from beginner to advanced at home. Sit to stand with high seat, 3 sets of 8 to 10, natural tempo. Controlled sit to stand with medium height, 3 sets of 10 to 12, tempo 2-1-2. Ghost touch. Touch and rise without unloading, 3 sets of 8 to 10, tempo 3-1-2. Pause at the bottom. 2 seconds of light isometric hold upon touching, 3 sets of 8 to 10. 1 1/4, go down, rise a quarter, go down again, and rise fully. 3 sets of 6 to 8. Narrower base to train balance, 2 sets of 8 to 10. Arms crossed over chest to remove counterweight, 3 sets of 8 to 10. Light load, backpack with books close to the torso, 3 sets of 8 to 10. Lower seat as long as there's no pain, 3 sets of 6 to 8. Long eccentric, 4 to 5 seconds descending, 3 sets of 6 to 8. The first rule is to treat both movements as non-negotiable pillars. You will alternate them throughout the week so that each session lasts 15 to 25 minutes, enough to send a loud and clear signal without wearing out your joints. Think of it as a traffic light you switch on 3 or 4 times a week, and your body learns to obey. Start like this. Monday, wall press in 3 sets of 8 to 12 with controlled tempo and a 5-minute balance mini session at the end. Wednesday, sit to stand in 3 sets of 8 to 12 with full focus on technique and a light 10 to 15-minute walk just for circulation. Friday, repeat wall press and add another short round of balance. Saturday or Sunday, a solid sit to stand session with pause at bottom variation. Tuesday and Thursday are for pleasant movement, a relaxed walk, gentle stretching, light dancing in the living room, gardening without explosive effort. This arrangement gives the body what it needs to adapt: stimulus, rest, repetition. So let's set 3 pillars that don't require expensive supplements, just real attention. First, distributed protein. At each main meal, include a portion of protein that fits in the palm of your hand. Eggs, thick plain yogurt, lean cheeses, chicken, fish, beans combined with grains, or tofu if that makes sense for you. The goal is not excess, it's consistency. Second, honest hydration. Set up 2 big glasses of water, one when you wake up, another around midday, plus 1 more in the afternoon. Third, restorative sleep. Turn your last hour of the day into a wind-down ritual. Dim the lights, keep screens away from your eyes, breathe slowly through your nose, keep your bedroom cooler. Sleeping well is a free supplement that doubles your training return. For the plan to stick, your brain needs evidence. Without proof, it goes back to old habits. That's why I ask you to keep a simple log that fits on a sheet stuck to your fridge. On it, you'll write the date, which pillar you trained, how many sets and reps you completed, the overall feeling marked as light, moderate, or challenging, and 1 life marker. I got up from the chair without using my hands, opened the jar without asking for help, climbed the store stairs without stopping, walked 2 blocks without fear of tripping. This combination of numbers and life creates true motivation. It's not vanity, it's autonomy. Let's fine-tune the technique with a short warm-up sequence that prepares your joints and activates your nervous system. Lateral ribcage breathing for 3 deep cycles. Let your ribs open sideways. Exhale long. Feel the trunk stabilize. Thoracic mobility. Press your upper back to the wall and lift your chest for 30 to 45 seconds. Now let's move on to balance, which prevents falls. Strength isn't enough. You also need the ability to correct micro losses of stability. Set aside 5 minutes at the end of your pillar sessions for the 3 most efficient and safe exercises for 60+. Single leg stance with finger touch. Stand next to a wall or chair for safety. Place 1 foot on the ground and lift the other 2 centimeters. Keep your gaze on a fixed point. Hold for 10 to 20 seconds. Switch sides. Perform 2 rounds. Lightly touch the chair back only if you lose balance. You might ask if you should include stretching afterward. Yes, but nothing excessive. A gentle calf and posterior chain stretch for 20 to 30 seconds already improves comfort for the next session. And now, answers to problems that may arise, and how to solve them without giving up. Shoulder discomfort during wall press? Reduce the incline by stepping half a step forward, raise your hand position slightly, and do 3 scapular reps before each set. Feeling unstable when standing up from the chair? Widen your stance slightly and allow yourself to fully sit down for 2 weeks before trying the ghost touch. General knee soreness the next day? Check if your heel stayed grounded and if you initiated the movement with your hips. Cut your volume in half for a week and resume gradual progression. Calf fatigue during marching? That's a sign you're rising too much onto your toes. Shift your weight toward the midfoot and review your landing. To wrap up with a golden key, here's your full model session. Beginning, middle, and end that you can do tomorrow morning. Warm-up, ribcage breathing, thoracic mobility, light scapular, and glute activation. Pillars of the day. Wall press for 3 sets of 8 to 12 with a 2-1-2 tempo and 60 to 75 seconds rest. Balance. Single leg support, and paused marching for 5 minutes. Cool down, breathing, and 1 minute of slow walking. Drink water and record it in your notebook. 2 days later, repeat the session with sit to stand instead of wall press and adjust the seat height to your level. Take a light 5 to 15 minute walk. Drink water and log it. 2 repetitions of this cycle per week add up to 4 to 6 sessions. In 1 month, you'll have enough muscle memory to feel that your body is responding, without needing to beg for it. And when that feeling arrives, I want you to tell me in the comments how you're feeling. And what was the first daily moment when you noticed the change? Reaching up to a high cupboard without hesitation, standing up from the lunch table without looking for support, walking to the bakery with steady steps, climbing onto the bus with confidence. These are the milestones that prove this isn't theory, it's life reclaimed. If this video helped you, comment, "I'm starting today." Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and leave a like so more people aged 60 plus can find this content. Save this video to repeat the exercises tomorrow and share it with someone you love. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are your practice days. Let's go together. Strength is a choice.